Ashe, Ashe and Grand Rising, a grand day to you all, my fellow humans, and welcome to this, the ninth in the series of another perspective on healthy living with your senior lifestyle advisor, plus, yes, the mystic philosopher. So please allow me to quickly do a quick revisit and recap of at least the last portion of the previous episode 8, in order to hopefully further break down and add some more clarity, some more insights and new perspectives on the scientific equation that I introduced, and also to answer a very important question that has been asked by one of my very independent, critical and analytical thinkers and truth-seeking listeners. I should also inform you that in order to not make this segment go beyond my allotted time, I think I will have to divide this episode 9 into at least two parts, namely episode 9 and episode 9.1. So I ask that you please be patient with me with this. In episode 8, I made the following statement, and I'll quote from episode 8. I said, human, aka man or woman, may be best described as a triunity, or some may say a triune being, meaning a unity of three aspects of a natural human, or a unity of three components of a natural human. Component number one, the physical body, which is also known as matter or mass. And component or aspect number 2 is the metaphysical mind, aka you may refer to it as energy or frequency. And aspect number 3 or component number 3 is what may be described as the spirit or the soul, aka the metaphysical I. Unquote. That was from I just quote from episode 8. I made that statement. And so in this, in my sincere attempt at explaining my perspective, aka my point of view, as to why I think a natural human is not just simply a duality. In other words, a natural human is not just body and spirit or body and mind, but a triunity, aka a triune being. I took the liberty and borrowed the late and renowned German-born physicist Albert Einstein's theory of special relativity that is summed up in the equation, or his equation, E equal mc squared, where E represents energy, M represents mass or matter, and C represents the speed of light squared. Now, according to Einstein's theory of special relativity, mass or matter and energy are the same physical entity. In other words, they are the same one thing, and that they can be changed into each other, meaning matter can be changed into energy and energy can be changed into matter. Now, from my perspective, if we are to interpret this equation equal mc squared as literally meaning that there is only one thing that is manifesting or that is materializing itself into two different states, and at the same time doing so at the same time. One state we call energy and the other state we call mass or matter. And if we are to conclude or summarize that a natural human is simply mind and body, aka energy and matter, the visible and the invisible, and where the natural human mind, that metaphysical space that I talked about earlier in previous episode, equal spirit, and spirit equal energy vibrating at an infinitely high frequencies, and where the natural human body equal mass, which is equal to matter, equal to energy vibrating at an extremely low frequency or low frequencies, then one could also logically conclude that human is a unity manifesting as a duality in this reality. In other words, the natural human is one thing vibrating at two different levels of frequencies. One part extremely high and the other part extremely low. However, and as mentioned in previous episode 8, that from my perspective, human is a triune or a triunity, aka a triune being. There is a third component or a third aspect to the whole natural human, which I, the mystic philosopher, identify and call the I, the elusive I, and the soul. That aspect of a natural human that is indestructible. That aspect or component of a natural human that changed not. That aspect that is eternal. It is constant. It does not change and it cannot change. And in this reality, it can be and become all that it can be and all that it can become. Two other very important points that I would also like to point out here are that, one, from my perspective, not all humans have souls, or not all humans have a soul. And two, the natural human is destructible but not destroyable. Yes, the natural human is destructible but not destroyable. And why? It is because the two aspects or the two components of our natural humanity, namely energy and matter, cannot be created or destroyed. However, the soul, aka the I, that elusive I just mentioned, is neither destructible or destroyable. But these concepts and these ideas and these perspectives are beyond the scope of this presentation, but I just mentioned them here. Another of my very thought-provoking perspectives that pertains to Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, E equal mc squared, mentioned earlier, that I would like to share with you here, and one that will no doubt provoke some of you, possible to write, is the fact that from I, the mystic philosopher's perspective, if or when all things are honestly considered, One might discover that Albert Einstein was not the first to discover the theory of special relativity as expressed and summarized in the equation E equal mc squared. One might discover that, though not expressed in the formula or in the equation E equal mc squared, for the non-initiates, aka the unenlightened, to see the power, the principles, and the philosophies, etc., that are encoded therein were already revealed to these. This was already revealed to, known, and practiced by the ancient Kemethians, that are commonly known today as the ancient Egyptian sage. The ancient Egyptian sages and mystics. These concepts and all the powers and all the philosophies and ideologies and principles that are enveloped in the equation E equal mc squared were already known to the ancient Kemethians. Kemet, and the place called Kemet is popular, commonly known today as the ancient Egyptians. Those were already revealed and known to the Egyptian sages, the Egyptian mystics, priests, and philosophers, etc., hundreds, if not thousands of years before Albert Einstein was even a thought, let alone conceived in his mother's womb. For those that are in the know that these principles, these philosophies, these mysticisms and metaphysical insights, etc., were taught to and practiced by the ancient Kemethians, the ancient Egyptian sage, the ancient Egyptian mystics, priests, alchemists, and philosophers, etc., by their god or by their deity known to them as Thoth, and also to the ancient Greeks by the same god Thoth, or the same deity Thoth, which was known to them as Hermes, aka Hermes Trismegistus. Here is just a proof, just one proof, to prove that this was not something new. According to the fourth Hermetic principle, also known as the principle of polarity, as dictated in the book named the Kabbalion. And just for your information, the Kabbalion is the study of the Hermetic philosophy of ancient Kemet, as I mentioned before, which is known today as Egypt, and ancient Greece. And I quote the fourth principle: everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pairs of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. Unquote. That's from the Kabbalion. But again, I've run out of time for this segment, and we'll have to continue proving this and other points as promised in episode 9.1 and beyond. So please join me then. I ask that, as customary, if you can, that you please support this series of short presentations titled Another Perspective on Healthy Living by simply purchasing your daily supply of lignans from the Norwegian spruce tree. It's also known as Fountain of Life. I ask that you purchase it from yours truly, I, the Mystic Philosopher, by clicking on the links provided in the description area below this video. I will be doing an explanation and a presentation on this product, on lignans. So stay tuned so you can understand why I promote it and this particular lignans from the Norwegian spruce tree. So stay tuned. I think I owe you, especially you, my new listeners, that obligation to do so. You may also purchase a digital copy of my song playing in the background, It is called Have You Heard of Fountain of Life? By simply clicking on the link by the same name. This is the instrumental you hear playing in the background, but the real copy, you'll hear me singing. And now your kind support will be greatly appreciated. However, in the meantime and between time, in your becoming, I will that you be more and more and not less, aka bless. I am the mystic philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.